Every now and then in the Australian property market, a short-term opportunity comes up that is too good to not talk about. Now, as we move closer to the 2032 Olympic Games up here in Brisbane, there is so much infrastructure, so many jobs, and so many people moving up, which is resulting in the local council rezoning many parts of the city as we speak. Now, one of the big parts of Brisbane that's just been rezoned is the Logan City Council area down there in South Brisbane. And what it's resulted in is incredible duplex sites like the one I'm about to explain in a moment, with not just long-term potential, but incredible short-term upside as well. Now, basically the idea of this particular duplex strategy is to go find an established home that's in good quality, like the one I'll show you in a moment, and then build a brand new property out the back. Obviously, once you've completed that strategy, you can sell both. You can keep one, sell one, or you can keep both longer term. Now, what's interesting about this duplex strategy to me personally is it's taking advantage of the timing with the Brisbane Olympic Games being 8 years away from today. Now, what's interesting when I look at the data in Sydney between 1997 and 2003, house prices in Sydney went up 97% around the Olympic Games and rents almost doubled. On top of the incredible timing, if we hold these properties long-term in Brisbane, we can see from the history that according to Simon Priestley, Brisbane has averaged around about 8.2% per annum for the last 50 years. And when we look at the likes of the analysts in the Australian Financial Review, they're saying that the average $700,000 property in Brisbane last year could be worth as much as $900 to $1.2 million on its own by the 2032 Olympic Games. So the long-term capital growth and the short-term upside, according to some of Australia's leading analysts, looks phenomenal. Now, on top of this, a duplex strategy, because we're going from one property to two, produces much stronger cash flow than normal. And then there's the incredible tax benefits that I'll show you later in this video because of the Australian government's tax depreciation schedules that we get as investors right now. Now, if we take a look at a property that we bought for one of our clients that's the perfect duplex site back in November 2024, you can see this 720 square meter block at number 30 Hakari Street, Crestmead, is a good quality 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home. Now, what I like about this front property is it's in relatively good condition, but through doing a few small things over the next 10 or 15 years, you could make this property significantly nicer. Now, looking through the photos here, you can see that the flooring's been redone, it's been repainted with new lights to sell the property. It's also had the blinds replaced, which is one of those maintenance items that none of us as investors really want to spend money on. The kitchen's in relatively good condition, but obviously longer term, there is that opportunity to open up that wall separating the main living space from the kitchen and redoing that kitchen area to a more modern, nicer taste. As we go through the bedrooms in this property, you can see that the carpet's a little bit dated. And if this was my property, whether I was going to sell the front property after the duplex or keep it, I'd probably repaint those bedrooms, put some new flooring down and replace those blinds just to modernize it and make it in alignment with the rest of the home. One of the features that I like about this property is that beautiful large, sort of extra large deck on the back of the property, as well as all of that extra concrete that they've put down the side, which post-COVID is probably looking at 40 to 50,000 bucks worth of concrete that you as the developer doing a duplex won't have to put in place for that shared driveway. So basically we've got this 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home on the front that we've bought for $770,000. Then what we do is we work with the certifier, the builder and the town planner to design a really nice 3 or 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom property out the back. Now, in the current market, some of our clients are paying between $350,000 to $400,000 to build, depending on the size of the dwelling and their goals for the dwelling. And then you're looking at about $50,000 worth of council contribution, town planning, certification, and connection fees around things like sewer and electricity, as well as NBN. So if we look at the total cost of the project, $770 plus $400 plus $50,000, we're looking at about $1,220,000 worth of total project costs on the way in. Now, if we take a look at the next property here, which is 4 Corby Street in Kingston, which is a beautiful brand new 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 2-car garage home that recently sold on a smaller 330 square meter piece of land for over $780,000 in 2024. This is the perfect example of what you could build for that 400K mark. enough. Now looking through this property, you can see it's been really tastefully done with beautiful high ceilings, stone bench tops, beautiful rectified edge tiling all the way throughout the house. It's even got a ducted air conditioning. But what I like most about it is because there's a limited number of these properties in the established suburbs in Brisbane, they rent and sell for a premium. Now, when we look at this project from a feasibility perspective, if it's cost us $1,220,000 to create the project, but we can sell the front home once it's been completed for about $700K and the back home for about $781,000, then we're looking at a total value of that project on completion of $1,481,000, giving us a $260,000 upside on the day of completion. Now, we recently completed a project like this for one of our clients, AK. It took AK about 9 months to work through that project from start to finish. And on completion, the bank valued the front home, which was very similar to the one that I've just shown you, and the back home for just under $1.5 million. We're showing you that the proof is in the pudding and that it is absolutely realistic in this current market to create that sort of project. Again, whether you keep it like AK is, or you sell one, keep one, or sell both of them, the market is presenting an incredible opportunity at the moment. Now, if you decided to keep both properties because you wanted to get the maximum long-term amount of capital growth, you wanted to ride the short-term timing wave up to the Olympic Games, you wanted to get great cash flow and tax benefits, then in terms of the cash flow, we estimate from Ray White in the area that the front home would rent for about $600 per week in its current form, and the brand new 4-bedroom, 2-bathroom home would rent for somewhere between $650 and $700 a week, giving you a combined rental income of over $1,250 per week if you kept the entire project in the future. Now, because with this project, you might do a little bit of renovation work like the paints and the carpets or the flooring on the front home, as well as building the beautiful brand new 3 or 4-bedroom home out the back, I wanted to show you a tax depreciation report that I got from BMT for one of my properties recently. Now, as you can see here, this property cost me a total of $411,000 to build in total. And I completed it halfway through the year. So you can see the deductions for the period of 2020 to 2021 were a little bit lower. But as we moved to year 2, which was 2022, I got over $19,000 in tax benefits that year, $16K the next year, and $14K the next year, which for me is absolutely phenomenal. And for you as an investor means that on top of that $1,250 per week in rent, there's also that sometimes as much as $400 a week in tax benefits, which you can take advantage of as well. Now, what I love about looking at this report, as you can see, is all the way up to year 40, there's still over $9,000 per year in tax depreciation benefits, which is almost $200 per week for the life of this property. And this is one of the most beautiful things about the Australian government at the moment, providing investors like us that are creating new dwellings for people to move to and rent, monster tax depreciation to benefits to encourage us to do this sort of work. Now, while this type of duplex project isn't for the faint-hearted, obviously it does require a whole lot of specialist and local knowledge. This is really the sort of project that you want to be working with a buyer's agent on. You want a good builder, certifier, town planner, solicitor, and property manager, as well as tax depreciation specialist to pull it off. But for those of you in a strong financial position, maybe this is your first project, maybe you've got your own home already and this is your next one. Or like my brother Simon, you've got a couple of properties and he's doing this exact project down there in Brisbane at the moment, and you want to tackle something a bit bigger to set yourselves and your families up sooner, that a duplex in South Brisbane at the moment is incredible. Now, obviously we want to maintain all of the important long-term fundamentals, like being close to a metro or major regional market, a big piece of land, good quality housing, close to infrastructure, close to train lines, universities, schools, jobs, shopping centres, and the beach. But I think this type of project at the moment is an extremely affordable entry point compared to the same thing close to the city in Melbourne, Sydney, or Adelaide right now. I think it represents great upside. It's not a theoretical project. You can see exactly from these numbers and these recent sales that it is possible. And as the market continues to grow in value between now and the Olympics, it will potentially even have more upside. G'day guys, my name's Ben, and I'm the director here at Pumped on Property, and I just want to say a massive thank you for watching our content today. Now, if you're thinking about buying an investment property in the next 3 to 12 months, then the team and I would love to offer you a one-on-one strategy session. In that session, we can talk about exactly where you are right now, where you'd like to be longer term, and we can deeply educate you on the Australian market. And then you can take that information and go and absolutely smash it on your own, or potentially become one of the small number of clients that we work with each week. To book your session, all you have to do is go to www.pumpedonproperty.com and click that book your free strategy session button. But either way, we wish you all the best on your journey as an investor to financial freedom.